Yeah. All right.
Whoa, look at those.
Sweet.
It's like, do we ever get up?
I can't believe it. I don't think so.
Do we ever get that loud?
I don't think we get that animated.
I don't know if the podcast ever gets like super like, whoa,
What?
like,
Are you kidding me?
we're not like fucking like those kids YouTubers that like everything they see, they're like, oh my God. And you're like, let's take it easy here, guys. They're like, look, gummy bears on pizza. And then they like cut to like them like whacking out. It's like they're all high on meth or something.
It's a high energy environment.
Yeah. It's like they all do coke right before they fucking film. All right, we gotta film another of these fucking kid videos. It's fucking. Where's Jeremy? He's in the bathroom.
I do feel like sometimes that is the level kids are at. It is drug induced like energy.
Kids content should not be like that. Like, if anything, they need to have like really calming. Like, they should have like what did you watch as a kid? Do you remember?
I don't know.
You don't remember?
Like Nickelodeon and stuff like that.
Yeah, which was like energy, but not like fucking.
I liked my favorite was Legends of the Hidden Temple.
That was a great show, but that's like a game show.
Great show. Yeah.
So like it was energy,
so
but it was
like,
but it wasn't like fucking like, fucking. I don't know. Like, I feel like everybody's coked up. It's so fucking weird.
You know. Do you know what hyperpop is?
Yeah, that's, you know what? Hyperpop is the perfect representation of kids content. Right? Yeah, it's disgusting. In like a weird,
it's just like,
I don't know how to describe it.
It's like dystopian or something. It's like, what is this?
You'll have like, sometimes it'll be like a beat or something. And then you just have like these like whacked out like synths or whatever. And like distorted guitar, and then it'll just be like a guy
Jelly
who like,
voice.
Yeah, that guy comes up and he's like, "Okay, we're gonna go out and then people suck on eating out of my butt," and then you're like, "What are you talking? What's going on?"
It's what the kids are into these days. So I've heard.
It's like 100 gecs. I don't get it.
I don't know what that is.
That's a hyperpop band. It's one of the popular ones.
Yeah. I don't know about any of that nonsense.
Yeah. I'll be honest. I barely know regular popular music. If I,
if it weren't for my girlfriend, I think I'd be completely out of the loop.
Mm-hmm. Like
who?
I am.
Who are you talking about?
I felt like such an old person just because I went, I'm listening to music or whatever. And, that song.
You listen to music?
Yeah, all right. That song, We Don't Talk Anymore. It came out like 2016, maybe.
No, I don't.
It's like the one, we don't talk anymore. Oh, we don't talk anymore. We don't talk anymore. Yeah. So I was listening to that song and then I was like, Selena Gomez is on this song? So then I go to my girlfriend, I go, did you know that like Selena Gomez is on that song? She's like, yeah, you idiot. Of course. Everybody knew that like 8 years ago, pal.
Did you know Selena Gomez is like a singer?
I was like, damn, dude, really hit me on that one.
Yeah, I hang out with when I hang out with my brother and his friends, they're like, they still have like their finger on the pulse, which is weird because he's 4 years older than me. Like, I'll show up to him and he'll be like, you hear the new release? Oh, this stuff's really good.
Yeah.
And I'm like, who is this? What's happening?
Yeah, dude.
I just feel like a senior citizen lost in a supermarket. Like, just like, what's going on?
That's exactly what I am. I only know about like anything recent because there's a guy that I work with who's like really into more like rap, like hip hop type stuff. So like I'll like know about those things, but like, yeah, man, besides like Taylor Swift and Olivia Rodrigo, I'm lost.
Yep.
Yeah.
I can't believe I don't know why, like, do you remember when Taylor Swift like started dating the NFL player?
Yeah.
And like the world, like really, there's a lot of attention given to it. I wasn't really sure why.
I don't know.
Was that really so like groundbreaking that like,
whoa, people can love NFL players?
Whoa. It's like Taylor, but it was like that Taylor Swift liked NFL. I'm like, I don't know. That just seems like America in a nutshell right there. I really don't see what's so like groundbreaking or like.
I think it's like it's like a weird,
about that.
it's a weird holdover of like girls can't like football. I think that's it.
It does feel like the quintessential like jock and the cheerleader.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like just brought to the highest tier of
she's like
American media.
It's like a self-fulfillment of her whatever that song is that she's talking. What she has that song? You know what I'm talking about.
First saw you, the window one.
Yeah.
The one they made a meme out of.
She's
right?
like at a
she
game.
Holds up the sign.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, it's like that. But like real
Have you
now.
seen the meme about the one where it's like the girl texting the guy? She's like, "I'm not really in a good place right now."
Yeah.
And then he texts back.
Yeah.
And he texts back, "Oh no." She says, I'm not really in a good state right now." And he's like, "Oh damn, Connecticut."
Yeah, bro, that's so funny. Fuck Connecticut, dude.
I hate Connecticut.
Fuck Connecticut.
I really don't like Connecticut.
You know, right now we live like I would say like 45 minutes from like Hartford ish, maybe a little bit more, maybe like an hour.
So you probably go into the city like every weekend.
I've never been once. I've never gone down there one single time. I always been, and I keep going. I'm like,
why would you?
There's got to be something to do like down there. And then I think about it for 5 seconds. I give it 5 seconds of my time, and I go, nah, that's all right. I don't need to go down there.
There's nothing down there. There's nothing down there.
Nothing down there. Connecticut fucking sucks.
I was born there, and I even not, the second I came out, I was like, where are we?
So we're moving, right?
Huh? We're moving.
Imagine you were birthed, and then your first words were like, "What state is this?
What's it?
Where am I?
Connecticut."
Oh, you're in what was it? New Haven? Is that where you were born?
Hartford.
Oh, you're like,
yeah.
Oh, you're born in Hartford, really?
I was born in Hartford.
Damn, dude.
Yeah. I don't fucking like. If I ever got a Wikipedia page like that, I have to have Connecticut on my Wikipedia page. That's just disgusting.
That's fucking right. You do. You have to be from Connecticut.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
No. If I like become a world leader, I'm just gonna like expunge that from the record and be like, his birth is a mystery. I'll be like Kim Jong-il. Like I was born on a mountain. There was just suddenly a bunch of sunlight, and then my mom just was holding me in her arms.
My mom never gave birth. That's an unsanitary
I just jumped
thing.
out of the sky. Yeah,
I'm one of the gods.
I've come to rescue my people.
Damn. Whoa, we're making connections, dude. It's Christmas. Speaking of Christmas.
Speaking of Christmas.
Speaking of people bored of God. The Grinch.
The Grinch. Jesus. I want to see a Grinch Jesus crossover. Like
Greasus. Ginge. That sounds bad.
Ginge. Yeah.
Sounds like a slur. I don't know. Feels really wrong to say. You ginch. Whoa.
You ginch.
Take it easy.
Whoa. You can't use that word anymore. Yeah. Hey, just a warning. Like my uncle drops the J word all the time. So just
all those ginches out there. Whoa, Grandpa, take it easy. Lay off the
coming in our country.
Lay off the sauce there,
drinking
buddy.
Our eggnog.
Let's take it easy there, pal. Yo, wait. What did the Grinch's parents look like? Did they look like him?
They were blue and yellow.
Were they? No, you don't know that. That was just a fucking educated guess. All right. Because he's green. I got it. Yeah, I got it.
I don't know if you know what primary colors are. But
I don't know. What are you drinking pee over there? What's going on?
It's green tea. It's Grinch tea.
It's Grinch tea. It's green.
You know how you make green tea?
By mixing blue and yellow tea together.
That's correct.
Oh, wow. I bet it is. God, whenever I think of this is so stupid. Wait, no, it doesn't matter. What were you going to say?
I was just going to say that when I was a kid, I got really disappointed because I heard that Kentucky was like the bluegrass state.
There's no bluegrass.
So I thought there was just like bluegrass.
Oh.
I'm like, that's fucking crazy. Then I went there and I'm like, this is green. I'm like, no, it's blue. I'm like, the hell, this is green. I know what green is.
Wait, so is it called bluegrass music because it's from Kentucky?
I believe so.
Okay. Or
yeah.
Okay. Not because Kentucky. Yeah, that would be stupid. Not because
like the opposite way.
Yeah. Like, we just really like bluegrass music, so we're gonna call it.
We're the bluegrass state now.
The bluegrass state. I went to a, so I was with friends and we were in Providence and we were like, hey, let's go. We're at this one bar. We're like, okay, we're going to go to another place and just like hang out because they have cheap drinks or whatever. And we show up and it's all white people sitting down, listening to a really shitty bluegrass band at like 9:30 on a Wednesday night.
Yeah. Wow.
And we immediately walk in and we were like, nope. And then just walked right back out.
Nope.
Because I heard a guy.
I must be in the wrong place.
I heard a guy right when we walked in. We walked in with somebody else, and one of the guys went, "Huh, where'd this guy blow in from, huh? Get him out of here." And I was like, all right, okay, let's get out of here. We can leave.
I don't think we're going to be welcome here, guys.
I didn't blow in from anywhere.
Where were you in Providence? What bar?
There's a bar called Nickonese. It's... I know. It does,
I think you should have seen that one coming.
No, it wasn't my idea.
Well, that sounds like a nice lively little joint there. Why don't we go have ourselves a couple of libations?
Yeah, let's
back for a bit.
Let's drink some nickel nips.
Nickel nips.
What a stupid idea for a candy. Fucking nickel nips, dude.
What the hell is that?
You don't know what nickel nips are? Okay, you probably do. You just never heard the stupid name. It's those fucking like little wax bottles that you could like tear open with your mouth and then drink the 1/8 of a shot of juice that's inside of it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a stupid thing, isn't
it? They're trash.
I think it's kind of silly.
They're garbage.
They're not good. Probably one of the lowest forms of candy. But I always like chewing on the wax more than the juice.
I always hope that the wax tasted like something.
Like a weirdo. I know.
Should have been flavored.
Anyway, Merry Christmas.
It's Merry Christmas. I figured we'd talk about what you're going to do for Christmas. Just more like there isn't really, I mean, like, I know that like KFC.
Yeah, I got to get some fried chicken on Christmas.
Because everybody, was it you that said that everybody thinks that we have ham or something or chicken?
We have turkey.
We have turkey on Christmas. Yeah, that's what you said. Yeah. That's not true.
And
God, I never want turkey on any holiday.
I only eat it with Thanksgiving because it's tradition, you know.
That's it.
Like that's the only reason. I have to suffer and eat bland food because my ancestors, while they were conquering and massacring and committing genocide, were eating bland food.
Yeah.
So this is for you.
No spices.
Oh, I was thinking about this the other day. You know the movie Milan?
Yeah.
You know how like there's the scene at the end where like all her ancestors come out and they're like clapping for her and they're like, you did a great job.
Mm-hmm.
If that ever happened to me and my ancestors were proud of me, I've done something terrible. I've committed a terrible war crime.
What do you mean?
There is no reason that a bunch of white people from 200 years ago should be proud of me now. There's absolutely no reason. I have committed genocide or contributed to the erasure of like black culture.
I was about to say you did something. You did something really. You must have done something really racist if a bunch of white people came on and started clapping.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's good. So when they're like, make your ancestors proud, be like, no. For me, I need to dishonor them.
I should be giving them the bird.
Yeah,
as you say. That's my goal should be to have my ancestors turning in their grave constantly. Just
there you go.
Completely not never at a peaceful rest.
Oh. That's good. That's a good goal because otherwise, that's
a good goal.
You'd be doing awful things. Like you're like, I support LGBT, rights, and then they're like, oh my god, what is he again?
You're embarrassing me.
You've got to be kidding me.
Calm down. Everyone in heaven is they're like they won't even talk to me. All right,
you think
you're over here?
Depends on who they are. Are they in heaven?
That's what I mean. Like, to be honest, how many people are really in heaven? Sounds like a fucking ghost town. All right.
If everything I do is a sin, seems like a place I don't want to be.
Yeah. Anyway, so Christmas I'll probably get fried chicken, and I know that weekend my partner and I are going to going away. And then Christmas is on a Monday, so we're coming back on Christmas.
And then you have to work the next day.
And then I have to work the next day. So probably Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve's always been the more the time for celebration.
Yeah.
For like my family.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm with you. That's usually when we do things. like Christmas Day. I mean, now I do things on Christmas Day. Just because like, you know, when you have two different sides to like, oh, you know, I gotta, so like Christmas Day now we do things, but yeah, it's always been Christmas Eve. Fucking either getting pizza or Chinese, you know, we go to church just because church, and then get out, get pizza or Chinese, and we'd either watch Home Alone, A Christmas Story, or The Simpsons Christmas special. That night, and then everybody gets to open up one present, and then like you know, then the next morning everybody, you know, gets to get up. Bro, I used to wake people up so fucking early. My parents must have hated me.
Yeah, no, I mean, I still do it.
Yeah, but like
it's time to get up, guys. We gotta open presents.
Yeah, but like how old are you? Like how early are you talking?
Like 8.
Oh, that's not early. Dude, when I was a kid, it'd be like 4:30 in the fucking morning.
Dude, that's too early. That's too early. They're like, Santa hasn't come yet.
My parents,
they're still flying around.
Those poor people, because they'd like probably go to bed at like 12 or 12:30, you know, getting everything ready, making sure that when I wake up, I'm like, whoa, you know. But then no, they sleep for 4 hours and then they're being woken up by, gotta get up, Santa's here.
Yeah, my students, like, they're so excited for Santa. My little ones. We were talking about like, oh, what month is it? And they're like, it's December. And I'm like, you know what that means? Like Christmas, Santa. And I didn't have the heart to tell them that because they're little heathens. They won't get any presents.
Oh, shit. Well, yeah, you don't say anything. So don't let them know.
I've been secretly like baptizing them without them knowing. So it's cool.
That's so fun. That's every class. It's just like a CCD class. They're like, what are you teaching? What are you teaching now?
I think that's hilarious, actually.
Yeah, we've been learning English, but it's just like reading the Bible every day. That's so fucked up.
Okay. Like, oh, here you go. Like, oh, not here you go. What do we say? Oh, sorry.
Amen.
Good job. Good job, Maria. Like, her name's Mariko. It's Maria. It's Maria.
Oh, no.
It's Maria now.
You give them Christian names, too. That's terrible. You know what's funny about like
that's
that?
It's
so fucked up. You know what's so funny about like the double name thing? I was talking to one of the guys in my classes the other day, and he was like, we were talking about like names or whatever, and I was like, yeah, you know, like you get like the double, you know, you get like a second middle name when you get confirmed. So then, like, you know, we talked about our names, and he was like, oh yeah, I didn't know that was a thing when I got confirmed. So we picked the same name as his real middle name. So his name was just like Paul John.
Paul John.
Oh my god, I thought it was so funny.
What's yours? Don't tell me. I feel like I remember this.
My what? My middle name or my
your confirmation name?
My confirmation name? Did I ever talk about it ever?
I feel like I must have asked. So I'm just curious. Because your partner's name is Cecilia, right? After the patron saint of music.
Is it? Wait, I gotta ask. 1 second.
No, I'm pretty sure.
Bro, you have the weirdest fucking memory. What the hell? How did you remember that?
I don't.
That's crazy. What the fuck?
What's yours then? It's like Peter?
Well, that's my real middle name.
That's what I meant. Are you Timothy Peter?
Yeah, Timothy Peter. I didn't know the rule either.
Would have been cool if you went with Simon. Then instead of Simon Peter, you were Peter Simon.
Peter Simon.
Isn't that a Peter Simon?
Peter, Paul, and
Simon
Mary.
Garfunkel?
Simon Peters? Simon.
What's
it? Paul Simon.
Is it Paul Simon?
Yeah.
Paul Simon.
I should have known that. I was just playing a Paul Simon record today, actually. So that's funny. I couldn't remember his fucking name.
What is your confirmation name then?
My confirmation name is Maximilian.
Right.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's a great choice.
I think it's a good one. I had to pick something cool that wasn't just like Bartholomew or Thaddeus.
Yeah.
Who the
Thaddeus.
fuck wants to be like, hi, my name is Peter Mario Thaddeus.
Thaddeus. Peter Mario.
That was a kid. I'm revealing names here, but that was a kid in my like elementary school class.
Peter Mario.
His middle name was Mario.
That's cute.
Peter Mario.
Mario.
Or as the New Yorkers say, Mario.
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 Mario, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What you doing?
Hey, Mario. Mario Brothers.
I think if I got confirmed, I'd either make my name Sylvester.
Is that a saint?
That is a saint.
Saint
And
Sylvester?
Do you know when his feast day is? December 31st.
Really?
So in Germany, they call New Year's Eve Sylvester.
Really?
Like, oh, what are you doing for Sylvester? I'm like, that's so cool.
Yo, he was a pope.
He was a pope.
Pope Sylvester the First.
Saint Sylvester.
How the fuck do you know that?
One time on a road trip, I read all the popes in order. Just so I could.
Did you remember all the popes in order?
No, but there's names that suck out, like Sylvester.
Like Sylvester, that's a good one.
Pope Hilarious.
That's a great pope name.
Yes, it is.
How did not everybody laugh at that? They all should have laughed, bro.
Yeah, famous for converting the Vatican into a stand-up comic venue.
Dude, there are some sick pope names.
There is some really cool pope names.
Pope Telesphorus.
Fucking what?
That's fucking sick.
Telesphorus.
Telesphorus. Saint Pope Hyginus.
This is what I mean. That like, how the fuck are there 23 Johns?
Yeah, guys.
You
Any
have
other
so
name?
many names to choose from, and you're like, I'll do the John.
Is it because
That's a
they were
good
like
one.
kind of fucked up? Is that why? Like nobody wants them because like they did something?
Maybe.
Because these are like
Maybe.
all like really all dude, but like okay, we're talking the first 10 popes, banger names. Most of them. Some of them are
Yeah,
like
Peter.
Yeah, Peter's number 1. You know what number 2 is? Linus.
Linus.
Come on now.
Okay.
Anacletus is number 3.
Anacletus.
That's
dude.
a great name.
Hell yeah. We're still in like the Roman era.
Yeah,
You
dude.
feel that.
Uh-huh.
Hell yeah.
That's the 3rd pope. 4th is Clement. I mean, that's, whatever. Who cares?
That's fine.
Everestus?
Everestus?
Everestus? Bro, he's from fucking Bethlehem.
No shit.
Same
That's
as
cool.
Jesus. Dude, he's probably the only
Hell
pope
yeah.
that's from fucking Bethlehem.
I wonder. That's a good question.
The only thing they say about him is just Hellenized Jew.
Sure.
Okay. Alexander. All right. Fine. Basically
Yeah.
fucking
Eh.
Sixtus. It's a great name.
That's a good name.
That's a good name.
Sixtus is cool. There were a few Sixtuses.
Telesphorus.
Telesphorus is crazy.
That's a
cool.
great name. How come there's not a second one?
Come on.
Hyginus is the 9th, and then Pius is the 10th.
Yeah.
But like, bro,
Pius.
fucking Eleutherius,
Eleutherus.
Zephyrinus,
Either one. Really cool.
Calixtus. Bro, these are fucking
Calixtus.
These are fucking
God.
awesome names.
I hope the next pope does something crazy. Like Francis, like that's cool. All right. First one. First name. At least he's changing it up. Pope Francis. I want to know what happens next. Something cool.
Eutychian, Eusebius,
Eusebius. That's cool.
Miltiadus.
Whoa. Okay.
Damn, bro. What the fuck? This is great. Popes have cool
I
names.
feel a tier list coming on.
The best pope names.
Best pope names.
Yeah, if we made a tier list of all the popes, that would take us fucking years.
Yeah, if we, of all the popes, yeah,
That's
but
two-
just the names.
that's
So
200.
luckily, there's 23 Johns. So
There's like 7 Pauls or something. There's 16 Benedicts, so we're all good on
There's
that
like-
one.
12 Piuses.
Yes, there's 12 Piuses. The fuck, guys. Leos, there's 13 of those guys. Got Gregory's, there's 14 of those.
2 John Pauls.
Is that one of Bill O'Reilly's books? Killing Pope
Killing John Paul II. I think that is one of
Maybe
them.
not. I just remember when I was a kid. Was that when I was a kid? Maybe I was like at high school. I just remember my dad had a book that was like a pope and a president. and like the relationship between dude, your face just
Dude,
like
I think
lit up.
my family has. I think my family has that book.
It's like the relationship between like John Paul II and Reagan or something like that.
I think so. Yeah, it's just like the. God, I hate Reagan.
Come on, he was one of our greatest presidents.
He was definitely a president.
He was great at doing something. Maybe it wasn't being a president, but
A lot of Pope talk.
a lot of Pope talk.
I'm here for it. I don't know how to put it, but it's like even though I left the faith, I'm so interested in it,
bro. Because it's
and that's
so
probably just because I was
fascinating.
raised that way. But it is just so fascinating.
How does something like that endure for thousands of years? It's the reason, like
Thousands.
it's the reason, like Islam or Judaism is also like fascinating.
Yeah,
It's just like there's like so much of it, and just like it's.
I think Islam is really fascinating.
It's just its existence is a mystery in itself.
It's true. Like how do I put it? Like it's hard to think of a world without Christianity,
Right.
even now, and yet that probably is going to come to pass as we become more irreligious as a people.
I'm going to continue this conversation. I just have to pee.
Sure.
And now, a Christmas greeting.
Hey everyone. Yeah, that's right. Tim's in the bathroom right now. But I don't want you to think about his urination. I want you to think about the Christmas holidays. Have you been good this year? Have you given back to your community? Have you given back to yourself? Maybe the person who's in most need of some Christmas joy is you. So, why don't you try to find the time, a minute, a couple minutes, here and there, and just ask yourself, what can I do for me? Just something small, something brief. Doesn't have to be grand. Just remember that you've been through an entire year, and you should be proud of yourself.
Wow. Really? I should be proud of myself?
Yeah, you too, buddy.
Thanks,
That's
man.
right.
I really needed that today.
I left a little Christmas message for all the folks listening.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's nice. I'll get to listen to it later.
Yeah, that's a little surprise for you.
Anyways, do you think that Christianity will still be around in 500 years or whatever?
I think if it persists anywhere, it's going to be in the impoverished nations.
Yeah.
Because, and like the nations like where it's so vital to their like national tradition. I can't imagine Italy without Christianity.
Yeah, but is it like in 500 years, is Italy still Italy? Presumably.
That's a good question. So notwithstanding some incredible political changes, who's to say? But think about it like as in Japan, where like people don't like practice Shinto or even practice Buddhism,
right?
For the most part, like most people, that it's so intertwined with like Japanese culture, that it's kind of hard to like imagine one without the other.
You can't. Yeah, it's like something that can't be like divorced from like social identity.
Sure. Yeah.
In a way.
Exactly.
Like, isn't it something like even though most people don't practice, like 78% of Japanese people are like say that they're Shinto or like something like that, or like it's more like it's flipped or something like that.
It's like 78% of people say like,
or
it's the opposite of like in the US where like 70% of the population says they're Christian, but only 30% like goes to church.
Right.
It's like the other way around. It's like, only a small amounts say they're Shinto or Buddhist, but most people go to shrines and temples.
Gotcha. Okay. It was the opposite thing.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's what I mean. Like it's so interconnected over here that they're like it's kind of hard to separate the two and even see where one like Japanese identity begins and then Shinto and Buddhist like belief begins.
Right. So that being said, will you be going and practicing something on Oshogatsu?
Oh, I think my partner and I want to go to a shrine
Nice.
somewhere. There's a shrine near my apartment, but we're going to be in Tokyo.
Oh.
We might go to one of the shrines there, but it'll be so busy.
One of the big guys.
So we'll see.
That'll be fun, though. That'll be exciting.
See? Yeah.
I feel like having a lot of
It'll be
people there
exciting.
will be kind of cool.
Yeah. Then I can like watch everyone and be like, all right, what do I do next?
Yeah, right.
Cool.
Do I say something?
I always forget if I clap first and then bow, or I bow and then clap, and then
You clap,
do I
then
clap
bow.
again, or do I bow and again and clap? Well, you ring the thing,
Ring the thing, clap, bow.
bow, then bow again,
Bow again.
then peace sign. Then you bring it around town.
One hop this time. Hands on your knees. Hands on your knees.
Everybody clap your hands.
Charlie Brown. Bro, what the fuck is Charlie Browning?
That's when you have your hand behind your head and then you grab your
Okay, you're gonna do it? Because I was about to also. That's Charlie Browning?
I think so, right?
I don't know. What's
I
this?
think so.
Wait, what's this one then? What's the like?
That's just cool. That's just straight up facts. Like I don't know.
that's just awesome, bro. What for those who can't see, which is everybody, because we don't make videos of these. I did the thing where I put my hands on my knees and crossed them.
Hands on your knees.
Oh, that's the fucking hands on your knees.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
hands on your knees and you cross them, crisscross.
Oh yeah, no, that's when you do like the turn, crisscross, jam, crisscross, jam.
What?
Yeah, the crisscross. That's like the stop, the criss. Oh, fucking, it's gonna be hard with headphones. Crisscross, crisscross,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you remember?
I'll be honest. I know that guy. Like that guy is not interested in that song. Everybody, clap your hands. Like, get excited, dude. Like
Everybody, clap your hands.
2 hops this time.
Bow.
2 hops this time.
Bow. The music's like
Crisscross.
way too over the top. Like it's trying to make up for the lack of energy.
Like, come on, Dave. Can you try a little harder?
Dave.
I don't know. Whatever his name is.
Just some fucking guy's name.
So anyway, this is the Christmas episode. We talked about Jesus.
We talked about
at least his followers.
We talked about
So.
popes.
We talked about popes.
I don't know. I feel like Christmas is so like underwhelming every year. Like I get to like Christmas Eve is great. Fucking Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve's awesome.
Feels great, you know, fucking, but like I get to Christmas Day and I go, it's like a big wet fart.
I think because it's over.
Yeah.
Like Christmas Eve is it, you know?
Right.
Then you open presents and then you're like, all right, when do we start taking everything down?
Is it like Christmas? Yeah. Oh, it's like, so like the week after Christmas, that's what all those like resolutions are for. You get like really fucked up, you know, leading up to Christmas, right? And then you like, it's like post-nut clarity.
Yeah,
And then-
I need to change my life.
And then you're like, oh my God, why did I do what the fuck? Oh, Jesus Christ. Next year, definitely. Oh, we really got to change that.
Yeah, it's a good time. New beginnings. Do you have any New Year's resolutions?
Do I?
No.
Oh, shit. Do I go like funny or do I go like real?
Nah, serious. What do you got?
Oh my God, man. I got a few, I guess. I think I've been so angry at myself, like unnecessarily so for a lot of the time.
I like the idea of you just like walking down the street and you see yourself in a window. You're like, fuck you.
Fucking break the glass. Ow.
Asshole.
Um,
Freaking hate that guy.
I get so mad at myself just because I'm like, you know, I go to school full time and then I also work 2 jobs, which is crazy.
Mm.
That's like, fuck. But then I get mad at myself when I don't have the energy or the motivation to like work on stuff for myself or like projects that I've, you know, been wanting to work on. And like, I shouldn't do that to myself. First of all, like, why am I getting mad? Like, obviously you can't expound more energy than you have. But
Yeah.
my New Year's resolution is to find ways in which to at least allow myself those creative times every day at some point so that I get something done and I don't feel like I've lost all momentum.
Yeah. Find a little progress.
Because I think the hardest thing about working on anything is like when you you work on it like a couple days in a row or whatever, or like even a day where you have like a long time of, you're like, wow, I got like a lot done in like 4 hours or something. And then you don't touch it again for like a week. And then immediately you're like, fuck, like, where do I even start? Like, I'm already gone. And then it just feels pointless.
Yeah. I'm in a different headspace now than I was when I started this.
Right.
How do I get back to that?
Mm-hmm.
How do I keep like maintain the tone that I had?
Mm-hmm. So
I know what you mean.
That's one of mine. So what's one of yours? We'll go back and forth.
I think one of my New Year's resolutions is that's a good question. I haven't given it too much thought. So let me see. I think I want to try to do something
I've got more.
I know I asked the question, but I have no fucking idea.
Okay, you keep thinking. I've got more. I could spout off for a little bit.
Go right ahead. Let me ponder.
Yeah, let's see. My next one is, I feel like I haven't. God, it's always the end of the year. You start getting into the deep stuff, right? Because you're like, whoa, you're remembering whatever.
Can't believe a whole year's passed.
Yeah.
Like, what do I have to show for my efforts?
Yeah, and just I don't think I've ever talked about like my history with like my weight and like my mental health and things like that. I don't think it's really been discussed too much because I didn't really want to like bring it up that often. I don't know why.
Sure.
I think it's just because
there's a lot of pressure. And there's a lot of people not afraid to tell you what they think about your body.
Right. So that's probably part of
it. Yeah.
So I think, yeah. So I think for this, I've lost a lot of weight and I'm trying to like tell myself like I've done a good job so far, but then I'll fall back into old habits of like eating like garbage and like, staying up late and just like fucking going at like a bag of chips or something. And then I'm like,
sure.
And I wake up the next morning and go like, what the fuck did I do that for? And it'll be like multiple nights in a row. And I think I just want to work on not doing that to myself as much, to remember like, oh, like I feel better in the morning when I don't do this. Not even about like, the way I look or whatever, but more just like out of purely like, I don't feel like garbage when I don't do this. So just keep working on that.
I know what you mean. Okay. That's good. Cool.
That's one of them.
I think you should also like,
what's up?
It's also good to just feel comfortable with yourself, no matter how you look or what your appearance is. I think that's definitely something I need to work on is, I feel like I'm like deathly afraid of like my body changing in any way, shape or form. Whether like gaining weight or losing weight. I have a lot of like, I don't know how to put it. I don't think I have the healthiest way of viewing my own body. So I think I'd like to.
I'm with you.
Make adjustments.
Yeah.
Towards that.
Yeah, I think that's something I need to. I don't know if there's probably people to talk to. Obviously, like therapy and whatever, right? Because body dysmorphia is a thing.
It's got time for that.
Yeah, fucking who gives a shit about therapy, bro?
Come on, man. Let's go get some ramen.
But yeah, I just need to dude, let's go get some ramen.
Let's go get some ramen, dude.
Because
ramen's so good.
Ramen is so fucking good. Yeah, I need to like not look at myself in the mirror and go like, what?
Like, is this okay?
Yeah. You know?
Yeah. I know. That's why I feel like it's almost like bad to even compliment people on their appearance. Like, I feel like it just like not reaffirms, but like it like emphasizes that like that's the way you should look.
Right.
Where like that doesn't matter how you look.
Yeah.
But, like,
yeah. Usually when
it's hard though.
It's tough. I think I've been working on, even subconsciously, like when you like comment, if you want to like compliment somebody, I always go for like things that like don't really have to do with like body per se, unless somebody like actively goes out of their way to be like, hey, like I'm losing weight or whatever. And then you're like, wow, like, like you look like you've like done a lot of work.
They have like a stated goal or something.
Yeah. And then you like, it's about phrasing too. So instead of like, oh wow, like you look really good, it's like, oh, like you look like you've done a lot of work for yourself or whatever,
Mm.
you know?
Yeah. Compliment their effort instead
Yeah.
of like their the result.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a really good point too.
So
Yeah.
that's a goal. Another goal, I want to read more and I want to write more. Those are two sides of the same coin.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah. I think I want to write more. And so like now when I'm at work and I have downtime, I
Mhm.
just like kind of scribble about like anything.
Yeah.
Like just like little stories, nothing really, not even like a full, it's kind of like riffing on the guitar, you know, where you're like, oh, I wrote a little riff.
Yeah.
This could turn into a whole song, but right now it's just this little
It's
section.
just this little thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what writing is.
It's kind of fun. I think it's good use. Like I love like vocabulary.
Mm.
So like trying to see what vocab words I remember and trying to use them in like creative ways. It's just like, I don't know. I don't want to get dumb.
Yeah.
I think that's probably something I need to focus on is.
And I don't think, and even you saying that makes me think that you're probably never going to.
I don't know.
Because
that's probably something I need to work on for my New Year's resolution is being like comfortable with like who I am a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know, instead of telling myself I need to be this way or I need to change this part about me.
Mm-hmm.
Just maybe.
Yeah, I need to not use social media as much. That's
so I've turned my Instagram into just a feed of like cat memes, and it's the best.
That's good because every time I see like best. I don't know, I need to like stop comparing my efforts to other people, and that's like
it's so
the name
hard.
of the game, and that's
the name of the game.
And I have to keep reminding myself, especially when it comes to just like creative anything. Like I like to make things. And then I have to like remind myself that there doesn't need to be a marketable product from what I'm creating.
Right. I feel like.
Which is like something insane. But like, that's just what the 21st century is.
I think it's also like America.
Yeah.
Like before I left for Japan, I like went out with some coworkers and they were like, oh, what are you going to, when you get back, how are you going to like use your Japanese skill to like, how are you going to capitalize off of that skill? And I was like, why do I have to do that? Why can't it just be what it is? Like they like that entrepreneurial mindset's it's nice. But like, I feel like then I'm not like, well, the reason I'm doing this isn't for the fact, like it's not, it changes the meaning.
Yeah.
It changes of like why I wanted to learn the language or why I wanted to experience this. That was if I'm just trying to peddle my knowledge for money.
Yeah. It's like everybody who's, you know, I've talked to like family members and stuff, and they're like, so what are you going to do with like those Japanese classes after you get done? And I go, I don't know. Talk to people. Like, I don't know. Like, it's fun. That's why I'm doing it, because I like it.
Yeah. I think
because I have a good time. Is that not enough?
We're very like American culture, I feel like, is very focused on like what's the reason you're doing this? What end does this serve?
Right.
Like there's no, it's always and you could there's probably so much, there's a lot of analysis you could do on why that is, but I think that like we kind of don't focus on the here and now, like what like I don't know how to put it. Never mind.
No,
too complicated of a thought.
No, I know what you're talking about. It's like, well, something that I'm curious about is in the future, you know, like you have, I feel like a lot of people our age feel a similar way. You know, a lot of people that I've just talked with, they kind of like are on the same wavelength most of the time. I mean, sometimes there's always like, you know, business bros or whatever. And I'm wondering
the grind mindset.
Yeah, right. But like that's like a minority for the most part, I feel.
Yeah.
So I just wonder, like, as time progresses, like, will that outlook change on like a, you know, larger populace level? I don't know. There's no answer until the time comes.
Who's to say?
But it's a nice thought.
Yeah.
It's like anything, right? It's like racism, or not racism, but like racist remarks and like, you know, different systemic issues. Like,
I see what you mean. Like, yeah, I don't know. Sometimes it's like maybe technologically and socially
Mm.
we're outpaced
Hmm.
from our own, like what our minds are capable of,
Yeah.
or like what our intuitions and our concepts on things
Mm.
are outpaced by like what's going on and what's being asked of us.
What do you? I'd like to like expand upon that a little bit, if you can. If you
Well,
can't,
like
that's okay.
I can certainly try. For instance, like people who are very anxious about like AI, like generative
Mm.
AI.
Hmm.
You know, like we still have people who are like incredibly like backwards in how we, I guess, would say backwards, like they're, you know, maybe racist, or they're big. There's still forms of bigotry that exist in the world, and we have like I see. It just feels like there's a gap growing
Yeah.
between like what we're capable of doing and what we're prepared to do.
Mm. Gotcha.
I'm sure that there'll be a few experts who can handle like what we're able to do, but for the most part, like I think it's going to take the average person
Mm.
time to catch up.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And
That's not really the most coherent.
no, I get you.
Uh,
I think I want to add to that sentiment because I kind of understand where you're coming from. There's I think one of the things about AI that I've had discussions with various people about is like it's that idea of like, so where does AI where does AI get its ideas from? It doesn't come from nowhere. Like it can't just generate ideas from nothing. It has like sources and things that it kind of gathers, and then it makes an amalgamation of whatever that is into its own product. So like
mm,
one of the conversations I've had a lot is the idea of like what is like literacy, and like what is like proper language use, especially when it comes to like writing and things like that. So like say like you're writing an essay for school, um you're expected to use like this almost like always use like neutral language, you know.
mm,
You don't bring in like, unless it's like specifically talking about biases, you don't like introduce any of that. If unless it's like specifically talking about examples, you don't really use like quote unquote superfluous language, or you don't like, you know, you can't introduce like your like passionate language into it as much, just because it's like, oh well, you're presenting something, so you can't really, it has to be more like fact, that type of thing. Um, and that's one of the things that, I've talked with people about is like that mindset is a very like, white mindset.
hmm
And then because like that is already like a system in place, that's where AI gets its sources from, in terms of like writing and like ideas for writing and things like that. So then when it generates new ideas and people use those ideas, it like adds to the suppression of like individual voices and things like that more and more. And
That's a really good point.
yeah,
Right? Like
so
I think.
it's even though it's a newer technology, going back to what you were saying, even though it's like this like, ahead of us technology, it's
Mhm.
perpetuating the ideas that were, and like the systems and ideas that were behind.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. You said that quite very well. Yeah, very well expressed. I don't know how else to put it. Yeah, they're like it's a reflection
Mm,
of the biases and the prejudices
right.
that exist already.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you were telling me about, you took a class that talked about scholarly and academic writing,
Mm,
and how influenced it was by like white British people,
yeah.
essentially,
Yeah.
like white Anglo-Saxons
Mm-hmm.
from like the late 1800s,
Right.
have decided what it means to write a proper academic paper. And like,
Exactly.
so how do you think we start to transform that field? Like, how do we start to approve of and acknowledge the um like the merit and the rich ideas
Mm.
of different ways of speaking and writing? And how do we
Um.
like, because I feel like
Ooh.
there's this idea like you need to become
Mm.
like that idea of like whiteness
Mm-hmm.
to be able to like to reach that standard and have the credentials necessary to succeed in the world.
Right.
How do we change that?
That's a great question. I don't know if I have the answer. I mean, in an individual, you know, on an individual level, it's about listening for and like looking for content over presentation of content. I think a lot more
Substance over style.
Yeah, exactly. I think a lot more like educators, especially like younger educators, are more open to the idea of like, well, if you're proving to me that you know what you're talking about in like a coherent way, like it doesn't really matter exactly how you form your sentences or like how you structure whatever you're writing, right? One of the things I fucking hate is the idea of the 5-paragraph essay. I hate it. And it's because I think it's so constricting to thought, especially when somebody is writing. I think it's a hindrance. Because you go into whatever you're writing with, I need to have a thesis statement and I need to have 3 supporting statements and like the things to back up those statements. And then I have a conclusion that like has to summarize my thesis and blah, blah, blah. But like, what about if the thesis statement is something a little bit more broad and you don't have like 3 like very specific points or whatever? You just kind of like, it's more of like a progression than a, set block of things. And like in writing, how do we make connections within our own writing and within reading that isn't just like blatant explanation, like blatant statement of connection? Like there are ways to make connections without having to tell people what the connection is.
Sure.
So that's like a start. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I think you're definitely onto something. And I think like with that specific issue, I think part of it would be asking like, what is the purpose of writing?
Right.
Like, because like the 5-paragraph essays, like I don't know. It's kind of like just like prove to me you know what you're talking about. Mm-hmm. Like the writer, and like firstly, that could just be incredibly boring to read.
Right.
Like you got to have a hook.
Well, it's
gotta have a hook.
Well, it's
hook them in.
It's written well, and hooks are good. Hooks can be great.
Hooks are good,
but it's more like the 5-paragraph essay is just there for grading purposes,
right?
It's there for
it's easier for the teachers to
it's easier for
check the boxes.
Yeah, somebody to go, okay, they listed these 3 things. Okay, they gave me good examples. Okay, they gave the correct citations or whatever that they needed to. Blah blah blah. Versus like
I'm reading this book right now called the Tyranny of Merit, and it's by do you know Michael Sandel?
I've heard the name before. He sounds very familiar.
He wrote another book called Justice. It's kind of really popular. He's like a contemporary philosopher.
Okay.
Which is kind of just wild to think that there even exists, because it just sounds like such a
something back
anachronism in the modern age. Like, what, we have philosophers? But he talks a lot about like how terrible living in living in a meritocracy really is, and how like credentialism like really only favors the like tons of people who have opportunities to begin with.
Right.
So like, firstly, you don't actually like the United States especially is not a meritocracy. We know that like intuitively, but we still treat it as it is. Like we assume the people in the highest positions deserve to be there.
Right.
And a lot of this is related to what we were talking about, in the sense that like it's just building off of institutions that may, in many cases, certainly were like not egalitarian.
Yeah.
Or equitable.
Right. Yeah, it's that whole idea of like, you're around the dinner table and they're like, well, he got there for a he must have, it's like his good business sense that if anything, and it's like, yeah, but like nobody should have $100 billion.
No.
But yeah,
not when people
like there's no way.
So there's definitely a moral argument to be made, but he talks a lot about like it's a really interesting book because just what I've read so far, it covers like the history of meritocracy in the United States and how it all stems from like the Puritan work ethic.
Okay.
And his point was that like because of Martin Luther saying that no, is it John Calvin? John Calvin saying that like you're either like saved or you're not saved.
Right.
The predeterminism. People started to search for signs to identify whether or not they were saved. So instead of working hard to be saved, it became, oh, they work hard because they are saved. Okay. So it's like this idea that they already how do I put it? Like they already put in the work. And favored. Like, they're already favored. Like they already are deserving of their position.
So then, they're working because they're favored?
It reinforced the belief that prosperity is a sign of virtue.
Okay.
It's the fact that like rich people deserve to be rich is what it comes down to.
Gotcha.
Poor people deserve to be poor. Because rich people wouldn't be rich if they didn't deserve to be rich.
Gotcha. And like that whole like thing where like poor people are poor because they don't try hard enough or whatever.
Yeah, they just aren't working hard enough.
Right.
You know, they have opportunities, and in reality, we know that's not the case. But like it's odd because we still like think that like CEOs and presidents are politicians are like, well, they must be good enough to earn that position. And he points out like a lot of the failures on both sides of the political spectrum to like deal with this. Right. Like he argues the Democrats' response is just to like everyone should be able to go to college, and he's like, not everyone needs to go to college.
Yeah.
Hold on. We need to change that.
Right.
We need to change our beliefs around that.
Because that's like that's like a related to it. It's like that whole like societal mindset of like, oh, well, you know, in order to make it in this world, you have to have a good education. And then like, oh, well, only good jobs make money, and like good jobs equate to things like doctors and lawyers and, you know, whatever. But
that's
like,
just not true.
Not true.
Not true.
Because guess what? Everybody needs a plumber. Everybody needs an electrician. And the people that do those jobs are extremely smart.
Yes. They're very skilled laborers.
They know exactly. They know way more than I do about any of that stuff.
I think that's part of his criticism is that there's that the reason that like Trump got elected was because of that like elitist mindset where it's like oh, you didn't go to college, right? It's like you need to stop acting like people need to go to college. That's part of the problem.
Yeah, and that's like the reason for like, you know, division. A lot of division in general within American politics is just like, you know, you have one side thinking, you know, you have the Democratic side being like only catering to like inner city, you know, or just cities in general, urban areas, right? And
urban
like
areas,
you know, liberal mindsets versus, and like even there's got to be a new word for liberalism that isn't liberalism, because it's not liberalism.
Especially like liberalism is not in the rest of the world. It's not really what it means in the US. Like, there must be a better word.
Yeah.
For it.
Because it's
maybe like big, you could say like capital D democratic values.
Yeah. So democratic values versus, and then anybody who doesn't uphold those values are like, well, now I'm not being represented, you know, and then the opposite goes for the, you know, other people. So it's like, that's our biggest issue. But that's what happens when you have a country the fucking size of half the world.
It's pretty big.
It's pretty fucking huge.
It's a massive country. So many people. And yet only like a third the size of China.
Yep. In terms of its people.
China's another incredibly interesting country.
Bro, China, it's so funny. Like I have, you know, I'll tell for like people, I'm like, oh man, I really want to like visit China. And they're like, why? I'm like, because it's cool. Because it's just so even like it's
so old.
I have like a lot of my friends at school are from China, and they'll be like, I'll be like, I really want to like come visit you sometime. They're like, why? why do you want to do that? I'm like, I don't know. Come hang out.
Seems nice.
See China?
Never mind. I don't remember what I was reading, but it was talking about how in China, like maybe like after like World War One, we saw the breakup of empires as like a good thing, right? Because like it gave individuals like self-determination, which may or may the whole idea of nation states could be debated,
right?
The benefits, but it talked about in China that like the mindset has always been that division was bad and that unification was good. So like there's like I just think that's such an interesting idea because like in the United States, I feel like we could easily break apart and all become our own little states
and be totally fine.
But and be totally fine. But like in China, like the mandate of heaven is so like strong that the idea of division is like itself like that's a calamitous time. Like that's not a good reflection of like status quo.
Yeah, and I think that's reflective of just how like unfortunately how like at least within American society how divisive things can be. Even the things that like shouldn't be divisive are like people in America don't want to invest in their communities because it costs more money for them. It's like the idea of like, oh, I have to pay more money for taxes because so that like it like if I want like things like, universal healthcare, better, infrastructure, better public buildings, better public schools, things like that. It's the idea that like, oh, we need to invest, you need to like pay more in taxes. But then, you have all these people who are like, well, that doesn't affect me at all. Like it doesn't affect me on like a face-to-face level. Like right at this moment doesn't affect me. So fuck it. And then like nothing ever gets changed and nothing ever happens, which people can argue is a good thing because then it has choice, you have choice over whatever. But also like there's no sense of community.
There isn't a greater sense of community. I would agree.
And so like, how do you build like, I don't know where to go from that, but it's just something that I notice.
I think that like part of that is kind of what we were talking about, is that America is just so like bootstrap mentality. Like you have to do it on your own. Like right. You can't rely on other people. But I also think that I'm critical of those people who are so they claim that they like want to have more choice. Like I should be able to choose what I do with my money. And yet I don't think they really do anything that particularly interesting with their money.
Right.
Like I just feel like their idea of like liberty is like really limited. Like they think that liberty, and actually this is a quote from Michael Sandel's other
is it from
other
Justice?
book, Justice.
Okay.
This always stuck in my head. Was that like freedom is not being able to satisfy your desires unimpaired, because I think he's talking about Kant in this chapter, in that chapter, because he argues that we didn't choose to have those desires, right? So like really, what freedom is that if we're just still trapped satisfying hunger and satisfying our sexual desire and satisfying our want for entertainment?
Right.
Like what real freedom do we have? Like it's just these fleeting kind of enjoyments.
Like, and we only know that they exist because of how the world is set up right now. But like otherwise, like in pretty much anybody, if like the world wasn't the way that it was set up, would feel fulfillment in small experiences. Because like, yeah. I mean, just think about like the day to day, right? You're like, oh man, even like, I'm trying to think of something. It's really stupid, but like even the small things, like I wake up and I make my bed in the morning and I'm like, wow, I feel good because I did one thing. I did like that thing. And it's like, okay, so if like experiences like that and like being around people that you enjoy talking with and things like that, if things like that are fulfilling, if we didn't know that the other things existed, we
wouldn't want them.
Right.
So that other book I read, Sapiens, they got the author talks about like because you essentially like said it. It's like the idea that our desires are informed and even created by the world around us.
Right.
Like, do you really want to travel to Europe? how would you even know you would want that? If like that has to be created, and you have to be told that, and you have to have an idea of it, and it's all just nonsense. It's all just a dream. It's a lie you're telling yourself. It's an imagination.
Right.
When it's like you're pointing out that you can find more fulfillment in like tasks and in talking with people around you and what life presents you now.
Right. And I guess, the flip side to that is like having such a interconnected worldwide, like global society, is that you're able to make those kinds of connections with people who don't necessarily live daily life like you do. And that's a whole nother like realm of fulfillment. Right.
True. It's a lot to think about.
Yeah. So New Year's resolution.
Merry Christmas. My New Year's resolution is to eat less meat.
Okay. Any particular reason, or just?
I've learned some things about some of the practices that go on at like chicken farms, and it's really hard to sit back and enjoy like fried chicken.
So I guess that KFC isn't coming to the table then.
That might be the last hoorah. One just massive bucket of KFC. Munch.
Yeah, man.
But the thing is, when I give up meat, I always feel so tired all the time. Like, I think we're definitely meant to eat meat.
Well, it's an energy source. It's like a really lean energy source.
Especially chicken.
Right. So I guess it's just where you source your chicken from, maybe.
I think that is the issue I have, is that the treatment of the animal. It's not.
It's not the inherent death of the animal, but
Sure, everything has to die. At least it has a purpose in sustaining my life.
Right. I think another resolution of mine, now going back and forth again, has been to nurture my friendships more. I feel like I get to school. This has happened every semester. I get to school and I start working, and then I feel like I lose connection with a lot of people. And I think, and then like a certain loneliness sets in, and I'm one of those people that thrives, or not thrive. I guess thrive, but like gets energy from, talking with friends every like once a week or whatever, and just like having that connection. So that's one of my.
I think that's a good goal. It's a good resolution to have. I feel the same. I just hate texting.
Texting's not the way to do it. I found that
I hate it.
I found that if I call a friend like once every week or two,
wow,
I feel way better than and maintain a way better relationship and, friendship with a person than texting ever does.
Wow. I think I might try that. I might steal that from you.
Yeah. I mean, do we ever text?
Yeah, here and there. We're so bad.
But not really.
We're so bad.
But like, why do we need to be good at it?
If we see cool videos, we like share each other with them.
Yeah. But like, why do we need to do that?
Part of it's like maybe I'll get a text and I'll be like, now's not the time.
Yeah, right. It's just like,
but like,
it feels inconvenient.
It's just not the time. Like and yet because of the nature of the medium, like an immediate response or a lack of immediate response needs like justification.
Right.
Or explanation. And in reality, it should be fine. Like it should be like sending a letter where it's like, yeah, you get it when you get it, reply when you can.
Right.
But instead
there's a sense of urgency. And then when you don't respond to it, you're like, fuck, I didn't respond. And then you never end up responding to it.
And then you're like, oh, I need to tell them something.
Like, man, I'm an asshole.
I have to acknowledge the thing that they sent me, even though it was
like a month ago. And then you're like, sorry, must have missed this one.
And it's like, I don't really care if I send something and they wait. I don't really care, but there's that feeling that I should care.
Yeah.
That's like they probably feel. And so like, I don't care if it takes you a week to listen to a video I sent. It doesn't bother me.
Nah, man.
But it's like that. There's that sense that it should.
Yeah. But yeah, phone calls are good. I like phone calls.
Phone calls. Yeah. Because I feel like even a couple minutes, you're just like, wow, I heard another voice. That's nice.
Yeah, I caught up with somebody. I joked around for a little bit. Trying to think if there's anything else I have.
I feel like we need to end on something. Like,
we do this every fucking time.
Every time.
We do this every time. We fucking like dive down to like the depths of hell, and then we're like, whoa, how do we bring it back to shallow water?
Yeah.
You know, like we start
this
out
in a port.
Yeah, we start off in like a kiddie pool, and then like all of a sudden like a hole opens. You go into like an abyss, and you're like, where'd all this water come from?
Yeah.
That was in my backyard.
I got a good one then done. What do you want for Christmas?
Oh fuck. You know, fucking hate when people ask me that because I don't know. Because I don't think about myself. It's bad.
Yeah.
You know? Gosh. My MIDI keyboard died. So I'd like another one.
What do you mean died?
Like it doesn't work. Like
the big one, the Asus?
No, it was a different one. We had one here, and then we were like, I was just like using it one night, which is like a whole nother thing. Like me getting set up to try to do anything musical is like a fucking force. So like the other night I was like, oh my God, I'm going to like set up and like fucking like play some stuff or whatever. And I plugged it in and I was playing for like 5 minutes and then it just shut off. And I was like, what? And I'm like doing all the things, but you're going to be fucking kidding me, you know? And then it just didn't turn back on. I was like, okay, cool. All right. That's fine.
That's so sad.
Yeah. So you know what? Actually, this is something I might buy myself. The Behringer has this like little fucking thing that they came out. It's like an FM synth, but it's like really tiny. It's like this small, and it has like 6 keys, but like it has a bunch of little knobs on it and stuff. And you can just like,
that sounds fun.
And it like runs on batteries. And I'm like, maybe I should just buy that to like fucking. It's $100. Yeah, just like make a little music, just like anywhere.
Yeah, I feel like I need that.
That's kind of fun.
Because right now, trying to use the musical typing, I want to shoot myself.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's not set up. It's not set up well at all.
Which, to be fair, that's on me. Get a keyboard.
Yeah,
get a keyboard.
Do they have like cheap ones there, like a hard off or something?
Not really.
Mm-hmm.
Do they have? Isn't inexpensive. It's still pretty expensive.
Yeah. Do they have like? Have you seen like music shops around that like sell like, you know, like keyboards and shit like that?
There's a couple
that you can go and like fuck around in.
Joshine. It's like the big it's like Best Buy. They have a couple keyboards you can go like screw around on.
Yeah.
Then there's, I don't remember the name of it, but at the mall there's like an actual like Guitar Center.
Oh, okay.
Esque place, and they're pretty fun because they have like these 2 keyboards where like you can like record like something. So I'll record something on one, and then I'll like play around the other one, record, and I'll get a little like beat going for a while.
Nice.
And then I'll just leave, and I'll be like, all right, I'm not gonna buy anything. I was here for an hour. But,
no, that's like when we go to fucking what's the one in Providence there? Empire Guitar. Fucking
yeah.
That's great though. I love going in there. You just fuck around for like an hour on the synths or whatever they have in the back, and then you're like, okay. These are way too expensive for me. So
yeah. Oh my God. Thanks though. I asked for Christmas. This is how much of an adult I've become. I asked for razor blades, like razor heads, for my Harry's razor that I have here in Japan.
Because you can't buy them.
That's correct.
Nice.
So my mom's sending me some. Let's go. And I asked for a pocket thesaurus.
Hey man, if you're doing all that writing on the go, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
I want to like speak better too.
Yo, the amount of times I use thesaurus.com is insane, or whatever that's called. I think it's thesaurus.
I don't know. I use the Merriam-Webster dictionary app because they have like the dictionary and thesaurus right on there. But yeah, it's not always the most convenient, especially if I don't have like Wi-Fi. I can't search anything, so I want to be able to.
Now, when you say you want to speak
gargantuan,
you want to speak better. What do you mean?
I want to have like more variety with like.
Okay.
A lot of the, like, especially adjectives. I have a really hard time thinking of like really appropriate adjectives for a situation, especially describing people's appearances or people's attitudes.
Yeah.
So
then next time say that.
That's what I mean.
We'll replace the word better.
Sure.
You know, because
I want to speak with more variety.
Because I was talking to my professor and I said, like, I have a really tough time, like, expressing what I want to say sometimes. And she's like, you don't seem like that at all, like, in class. She's like, you speak like you speak like how you think about things. Like, you put a lot of thought into what you want to say. And I'm like, oh, okay. You know,
cool.
And so I'm like, okay, so maybe that's just a self-image thing. Because I would say the same thing about you. You put a lot into what you want to say, and I think it's very intentional.
Sure. Maybe it's like the image I have. I feel like I just want to be able to describe it perfectly so that there's no risk of misinterpretation.
Okay. I got you.
Yeah.
Nice.
I desperately miss school. my God. I just want to be like in a classroom again. Like I like and like talk to people and do an assignment. Sounds hot. It sounds so hot.
Having a fucking hot teacher, you know? Yeah,
Hot.
baby.
Yeah.
I want to do an assignment. I want to write an essay. I want to do some literary analysis.
Oh, there's a sock on Christian's door. He must have a girl over. No, he just has a 10-page paper to write.
No. You just don't want anybody walking in under any circumstances.
Get out! I'm writing my thesis.
I swear to God.
Oh, God. I have like a private browser. It's just like sources for a paper.
You have like Wikipedia up. You're always like researching like little things here and there.
And NSFE, not safe for education.
Yeah, right. Oh shit. Unwarranted sources.
They say can't use Wikipedia. I'll show them.
An unsighted document.
Oh yeah. Oh baby.
Anyways, I guess this was Christmas. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
And happy holidays and New Year's.
I hope there's some sleigh bells playing right now.
Shing, shing, shing,
reindeer.
shing.
Ching, 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 jingle, 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 jingle.